Yeah, big shout to the Sound Collective for letting us be here in the space again. They're family, and if you don't know about the space, please make sure you talk to all the good folks that are here. They have incredible programming that happens daily, weekly, monthly, and now coming up yearly as well. So make sure you tap in what they're doing on the DJ side of things, the music production side of things, music business, so on and so forth. They're doing a lot of great things here. So big up to Sound Collective, and big up to the DJcity and Beatsource fam that is here as well. They are an incredible partner, both in terms of the actual record pool that they have with DJcity, but also the streaming, which you have with Beatsource as well, which has been a lifesaver for me, and I know for a lot of other DJs as well, in terms of being able to get the music that you need to be able to play in the clubs and parties and so on and so forth. So actually, Phenom, who's here as a representative for Beatsource and DJcity, is going to kind of walk us through some of the new features on the platform. So you can talk to him about, talk to us about that, and then afterwards we'll jump into new library for Serato DJ Pro 4.0. So Phenom.
Hey guys, how y'all doing? Yeah, Edwin Phenom. I'm from Los Angeles. Thanks for letting me be here. Sound Collective, Serato. I represent Beatport, Beatsource, DJcity. DJcity has been around for about 25 years. We started out on the West Coast as actually a record store. There was a school at the record store. There was an actual record vinyl wall, and there was it was a big community-driven endeavor that we had on the West Side. That's where I met everybody. When Serato was invented, actually, we jumped over from the vinyl to the CD to the digital era, and that was a big watershed moment. So we all became a part of that community. And then DJcity jumped over and basically in the West Coast, we had a lot of, at the time, it was mashups and remixes, and we were able to put it on the platform and kind of get it around the planet. We started DJcities in the UK, in Japan, in Germany, Latin America. And it blew up. We used to have this digital kind of online. It was like it was Twitch before Twitch. We had the Mickey D show where we had a lot of DJs come do a lot of guest sets. So we met a lot of the gatekeepers in the game. And that blew up the brand, and we were focusing on community. That was a big priority for us. And 2019, right before the pandemic, Beatport reached out. They said, we like what you're doing, and we're looking for a partner that we can work with in the open format world. And they had just acquired Pulse Locker technology, which allowed to do the offline locker, which was a part of Serato in the beginning. And we were like, this sounds exciting. And they're like, well, we'd like to work with you to legalize remixes and bootlegs and edits. It's going to be a long journey, but if we work as partners, we can probably get there. So that fast forward, as DJcity continue to grow, we were engineering pieces of the company behind the scene that were able to basically analyze the remixes and edits that were given to us so we can pay the royalties out to the majors. So we cut deals with the majors. In the beginning, we started with derivative works. So basically, we were able to do intro edits, acapella loop edits, clean edits, transition edits. And the majors were happy with that model. So we have all the partners with Sony, Warner, Universal. That led to a couple of years of working with them. They were very happy, and we said we'd like to explore legalizing bootlegs and edits because basically whenever we would work with the majors, there was a promo department and a business affairs department, but they would never really talk to each other. So we were able to merge that world together. Thankfully, the brilliant legal team and the tech teams behind us were able to cut the deal. So now we have all the licenses, and Beatsource is now integrated with Serato and the other tech partners, and anyone can jump on the website and go to our pages and basically start DJing. So if you don't know how to do reggae, you don't know how to do Latin, you don't know how to do house, you don't know how to do hip hop, and you want to stay current, you can go to our Beatsource page and you can pretty much, I'll show you. If you go to the website and you click the genres, we focus on African, country, dance. DJ Exclusives is the name for the remixes project, hip hop, Latin pop, R&B, reggae, rock. It's 9 million songs on the platform at the moment. A bulk of them have a lot of edits and intros and transitions. Most recently, this has been the exciting venture, which is the one that allows us to legalize the bootlegs. And we started with some of the best known cut corners here, part of the Serato fam. Nick Bike, Layback Luke, Free Jack, someone that's been working with us for years, Fashion, Trays, Eccentric, Wookie, everybody loves Wookie's work, A-Track, Four Color Zach, and a couple others. Dioro, Mark Cutts, who's our hip hop editor at DJcity. These are people that were championing us from the beginning. James Hype, Medusa, Spider, Scene. They gave us a lot of remixes, and we were able to put specialized pages. And the way we worked out the structure with exclusives is for every spin, we pay out royalties. So the more work you submit, the more remixes, the more popular, the more the chart, the better the payout. And that's for the artists, for the label, for the DJ. So 70% of the royalties go to the majors. 30% comes back to our machine. And out of that 10% is cut out. We put it in a pot. And as DJs stream the music, that 10% pays out to the DJ and the bootleg and the editor. So everybody wins. We started this program over the summer. It's growing very fast. And the most recent endeavor is we started to invite other record pools to be a part of the program. So the first one that we announced was Club Killers, our partners based in Las Vegas. And they gave us over 100 remixes that people are now very excited to use. It's very popular. We just integrated DJcity, 20 years of the best remixes in the company into the platform. So you can go back and enjoy a lot of the original edits that we had. And we have a couple other more partners that are going to be announced in the next couple weeks, couple months. So with the advancement of Serato 4.0, you can now mix and match the streaming music. And we also have the offline locker, so you don't need the Wi-Fi. You can use any of the playlists, you save them, shut off the internet, it works. You don't have to worry about it crashing or anything happening during a gig. And you can mix and match your hard drive of MP3s with the streaming library. So you have a lot of tools, a lot of opportunity to rock any set. If you have any questions of how the program works or how you get involved, I'll be here to answer them. If you want to submit music, we're starting we created a submit music page. It's djcity.com/submit music. Submit your edits. The curation team at DJcity will be able to analyze, make sure that it falls under the guidelines that the labels have approved. And if you start to chart on DJcity, we will offer you an opportunity to remix at Beatsource. So this is how you get your foot in the door. I'll give it back to my man, Opie.
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. I was somewhere upstate. It's about maybe a year or two ago. I had to go do a wedding, and they had some requests for some songs that I just did not have, and I wasn't trying to buy. And I was like, let me go check on Beatsource real quick and see if they were there, and they all showed up, and I was like, oh, perfect. But then when I talked to the bride and the groom, they're like, yeah, so we're gonna be in the woods in a cabin, and there's not a lot of Wi-Fi. And I was like, oh, okay, here we go. But I was like, oh wait, I could offline download, and so I literally just put those songs in the offline in the locker. And then when I got there was literally no Wi-Fi, but I had all those songs there and did the thing and it was work. So yeah, it does the job. So there's proof in the pudding with this. So cool. So let's talk about this. A lot of people have been asking for a long, long time, can you fix the library in Serato? And we kind of were like, yeah, it's coming. And then worked on it. Then other things will pop up, like stems, for example. And so it's like, okay, it's kind of change the trajectory a little bit and kind of work on the thing that kind of blows up. And obviously everybody loves stems now, right? So then we can say, okay, let's kind of come back and get to the thing that we really want to get to, which I was asking for, which is the library. So we took a long time to really dive into it and to really try to like rebuild it almost from the ground up to make sure that it really works in the right way and gives a lot of features to start off with. And then also to make sure that it's set that we can add more features in the future. So what you're going to see here is the beginning of what a lot more is to be coming in the future. So this is 4.0. We've been listening to you and we wanted to make sure we got it right. So we took a lot of time to really get into this. What you're going to see now is the beta for Serato DJ Pro 4.0. The beta's been out now for a couple of months and hopefully it'll be releasing soon. I don't have a date yet, but hopefully very soon. And it adds, again, a lot of new features. This is a situation where it's like stems, where it's like it's going to change your whole life, right? Whereas much as this is going to be, well, actually, this could change your life in terms of organization. You really want to be organized and get your library in the right way so you can move accordingly to how you need to when you're out in the field doing what you do with your DJ. This is what that will do in terms of changing your life in that matter. So we're going to jump into it. There's a lot of information. So if there's stuff that pops up that you have questions about, please raise your hand. Let me know what's up and we can go from there. So cool. So you now have the ability inside of Serato DJ Pro to search for your crates. Someone is excited about that. All right. So who is that? Who's clapping there? How many crates you got? He has too many crates. Right. So situation in the old library would be that you would have, let's say, 500 crates, right? Which is crazy, but some people have 500 crates, right? And you're literally scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling to get to that one crate. And you're like, oh, wait, I'm going to get to that next song, which is another crate. Now you're scrolling back up, back up, back up, so on and so forth. You're all over the place. And if you're moving very fast in your DJ set, you'll lose the momentum trying to search for the crate instead of just getting to the song that you need to get to make it happen. So now you can search in your crates. So real quick, I'll just switch over here to my Serato DJ library. And here, right here with this little magnifying glass, when I click on this, I can now search for a crate if I want to, and it'll show up. So in this instance, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just type in hip hop. And now that I do that, literally every crate inside of Beatsource that has hip hop shows up right here. And down at the bottom, any crate that I have that's also there also shows up with hip hop as well. Now, my library is a little bit different because I organize mine a little bit different, but some people have like 15 or 20 different hip hop crates based upon different styles, genres, or artists, or so on and so forth. Literally now you can find all that really quickly. So yeah, so being able to search for those crates, super, super helpful. And that can be upon anything that you're searching for by that, type, genre, or however you named it, it will show up automatically. You can get to it and you can start to work with it. So searching for crates. Showing crates. This one is also super saver as well for a bunch of different reasons. So cool. So if I want to do a search for a song, I'll go here to my DJcity and I'll do Break My Soul. Cool. And it shows up here, right? And if I right click on this, then what I can do is I can do showing crates, right? So when I click on this, now it's going to show me every crate that that song lives in. Why is this important? It's fire. Okay, good. If I'm in my DJcity crate, which is a Serato crate that I've made, right? But I'm going different directions, right? I could be in this direction, but if I go to another crate, this will take me in a different direction. Or if the crowd shifts and I need to go to this direction, if it's living in 4 or 5 different crates, I have now a path to be able to get to be able to move really fast, right? So I know that's living in my DJcity. It's also living in my house crates. It's also living in this wedding crate. And also my dancing crate. I just got married. My wife is here. Shout out to her. And it's there as well. So I can move around really quickly by being able to see where that lives at. And before, I couldn't do that. So I'd be kind of stuck in the crate that I'm in. And then again, having to search to find another crate to be able to get to something. I can't move as fast as I want to again, right? So super helpful being able to have that as an opportunity to be able to work with. Also, too, just as a little bit of a shortcut, really fast. If I do Shift, Command, and R, I can do that same thing, right? So if I have it selected and I do Shift, Command, and R, then it'll also give me that shortcut to be able to get there real fast. If you're into shortcuts, that's a fast way to be able to get to it and to make it happen. So, all right. In terms of your crates, this is a lot of fun. So again, you got 500 crates, right? You got a whole bunch of stuff you're working off of. Maybe you're in a situation where you need to be able to play a set, but you only need to work off of maybe like 5 crates, 2 crates, 3 crates, whatever the case may be, right? So now you have the option to be able to favorite your crates, right? So if I go here and I right click on this here, I can go down here to where it says favorite crate. And now what's going to happen, this crate's going to stay here, but now at the top of my library, there's an alias for it right here. And now I can start to work off of it, right? So I'm going to throw a couple of things up here real quick. So I'll go to the Afrobeats here, right click on that, and I'll also favorite that crate as well. Now these are all here. So now imagine you have 500 crates. Instead of you having to go through scrolling, you can literally live up here and do what you need to do real fast and make it happen. And if you have a bunch of them that are there as favorites, you can organize them. So now Afrobeats is above, DJcity is below. I can organize the way that I want to very easy.
Is that like searching crates thing to, showing crates thing, is that MIDI mappable or no?
That is not MIDI mappable. So he's asking if that's MIDI mappable to be able to do the showing crates. That is not, unfortunately. He has it right now. That's a good question. So when I'm done with the gig, I don't need those there anymore. I can literally right click and then remove from favorites and it goes away. So it doesn't have to be stuck there if you don't need it there. So again, small thing, but it totally helps there just to be able to have the organization to be able to move around very quickly and organize it the way that you want to. Super easy, right? The next one, color-coded crates. So this one is a lot of fun as well. So if you see here for my crates, I don't like to have a gang load of crates because it just gets a little too messy for me, right? But even with that being said, now if I want to, with the crate, I can literally right-click on the crate and then come down here to select crate color. And when you do that, the crate colors show up, and you can choose what color you want to have the crate. Normally before, all your crates would be that kind of orange color, right? So we kind of know what that is from Scratch Live days all the way up until Serato DJ Pro, right? But now you can kind of start to organize your crates by color. So if certain genres fit to you by a certain color, you can now be organized by that, by literally being able to color that crate so you can see what's happening when you're playing in the club, when you're playing an event, so on and so forth. You can kind of move very easy. So again, you can right-click on it. We'll go here to select the crate color. Let's just make this one this little kind of, I guess, blue turquoise color. And then now that crate is that color, and you can rock with it. If you don't like it, you can right-click on it again, select the crate color, and you can press the X, and it goes back to the regular orange crate, and you're good to go. Again, another simple one, but it works really, really well to be able to do that. Sorting the crates. Okay, so this is another great one as well, which I've learned that's been super helpful for me. So normally before, what you would have with your crates is that you would make a crate, and then it would just kind of go down in the order. And if you wanted to move it around, you'd have to click on it and then kind of move it. But it was never kind of in the way that you really, really wanted to, especially if you have 500 crates. It's just too much to be organized, right? So now you can have it by custom, which is what we've been doing before, right? Kind of in the order that you want. You can also click on this, and now you have it to be, you can be by alphabetical order. So you can go from 0 to 1 or 0 to 9, that is, in whatever number that you want to do, or A to Z coming down. Again, another easy way to be able to organize your crates to be able to see them. But you can also then do it by date created. So if I do it like this, then whatever crate that you were working in or made at that point in time will be the first crate that shows up in your order, right? So if you were downloading songs from DJcity, right, you got them all organized, but you did that crate when you made it down here at the bottom. Now when you go to date created, it's the first thing at the top, and you can start to work with it, right? So again, small thing, but it's an organizational thing that can be super helpful for you to be able to kind of move around and do what you do. Now, with that being said, when you're doing the date created for the crates, that needs to be in this new version, this beta version that's out now. If you're trying to do that in an older version, it's not going to work. So if you have crates that were ordered or made by date in earlier versions of Serato, it's going to live in that date time period. But if you start from 4.0 going forward, anything you do by the date is then going to show up at the top, right? So you want to kind of do this in the new beta if you can. Oh, another one that's super good. So I don't know if you can see it, but right down over here in the corner, there's some information that starts to show up. So before with a crate, you would never be able to tell how many songs you have in the crate or how long it is. Now, why is that important? So you could be doing a gig, let's say you're doing a wedding, right? And like, oh, we need a cocktail hour situation, and we only need like an hour's worth of music. But now you have like 50 songs you got to sort through, and you don't know how long that 50 songs is going to be. Now, when you select the crate, at the bottom of the screen, it will tell you how many songs are in the crate, how many hours it is. So this is 440 songs, 1 day and 16 hours. And it also tells you how large the crate is. So this is 11.55 gigs of music, right? So I can now start to think about, okay, cool, this is way too much music to fit for that situation. Now I can start to kind of edit it down to make it to fit for the amount of time that I need it to be. This also works for radio. This works for like any other type of situation where you have a timed amount of things that you need to be able to do with your music. You can organize it now by being able to see how many songs are there and then what the size of it is and so on and so forth. If you're moving songs to another hard drive and you need a certain amount of space, this will tell you, okay, cool, like maybe this is too much to be able to bring over, or maybe I can add some more songs in, so on and so forth. Small information, but can be super, super helpful for you as you're kind of moving forward and making things happen. And it's funny because I didn't think this was like a big thing, but then I went back and realized there were a lot of people that are asking for information like this. So being able to provide that is a really super helpful thing. So cool. Improve album artwork. So you'll see that I have a bunch of songs that are here inside this crate, and there's a bunch of artwork that's here, right? And if you come from the tradition of DJing where artwork was really important to you to be able to know how to navigate where you're going, Def Jam records were gray, depending on what year it was, kind of Rockefeller time period. But if it's old school, it's kind of a more maroon kind of color, right? And there was actually a black color too, kind of with that Def Jam South Ludacris kind of time period as well, right? So TVT records were generally like the kind of like neon green color. You kind of always knew what that was, right? So for certain DJs who were kind of connected to vinyl back in the day, those colors and those album artwork kind of situations meant a lot to them because they can kind of know where to go really quickly to grab some things, right? So similar situation here where some people like to be able to see the artwork to know how they're moving. What I can do now is I come to this little artwork section, you see this little kind of cross that shows up here. If I click on that and I start to expand it, I can expand the library view so I can see the artwork. And what happens is that the type font here starts to be relative to the size of the artwork. So you're not getting blown out with everything. So you just kind of click and drag and you can see everything kind of move the way that you need to. I'm visual, so I like to be able to see the artwork to kind of know kind of how I'm navigating and how I'm moving. This here is super helpful for me to visualize and see what's happening as I move along. Again, small thing, but then when you start adding it up, it starts to make a lot of sense. Okay, and there's a gang a little more. So let me go back here to the screen here. As I was saying before, there's a lot of right-click functionality that's in here. So let me go hit down here to this test crate here. So if I right-click on this, here inside the crate, there's a bunch of stuff I can do now that wasn't possible before. So add to. So I could do now add to prepare panel. I can also do add to stem crate. So if I'm, let's say, preparing a bunch of songs I want to be able to play coming up next, I can literally click on this and move it to the prepare panel, and it's going to show up there for me to start working with. So if I go to prepare, you saw it flash real quick, and now when I go there, here it is down at the bottom for me to start working with, right? So I can do that pretty easy. I can also, with the right click, go to the stems crate. So the stems crate, do y'all know what the stems crate is? Some people yes, some people no. Okay, cool. So with the stems crate, if you're on a computer that is maybe a little bit slower than, let's say, like the newer computers, M1s, M2s, so on and so forth, right? What you can do is you can send the song to the stem crate, and when you go here, up here to this right here where it says stems, it will add it to the stem crate. And what happens here is that it's going to, I got a bunch of them that are in here. It will analyze the track for you. So that way, if you don't have load stems on automatic load inside your Serato, so when you load the song, it already does the stems for you, this will already kind of have it stemmed out for you without the computer having to do the processing, because it's already kind of done it in the background here for that. So again, you're on an older computer. Let's say you're on like an i7 computer still, and it might not hold up as fast as like an M1, 2, 3, 4 situation. You can do the stems crate, and then all those songs will be ready to be stemmed as you're ready to go. So being able to do that from the library to be able to send those songs is pretty dope. So right click on that, and you can also see here too now with the stem symbol that shows up right here, that tells you now that it's ready for stems, and you can start to use it and make it happen. So right click stuff. So yeah, analyze files. So this one's super, super dope, at least for me. How many of y'all have downloaded a bunch of songs, you got to the spot, you forgot to analyze your songs, and now you have to sit there and try to, wait, can I unplug my gear? I got to analyze the old school way to get it done. Right. Now you don't have to do that. You can literally be connected to your hardware and then do analyze files while you're playing your songs. Super, super helpful. So, for example, if I go to my all here, and I'm going to go down all the way to the bottom of my library here, and let's say I'm playing some songs, things are happening, and I right-click on this and I analyze it, you'll see that it's going to analyze, and you see here that it's going through the process while I'm still connected to the hardware. And once it finishes, it should be able to give me BPM key, all the rest of that, grids, all that stuff analyzed, and be good to go. And it did it. So, straight. So this is a super, super helpful situation, because this happened to me 20 million times. Damn, I forgot to analyze my joints. Okay, now I got to go one by one, load it up while I'm playing to try to analyze it. Do the next one, load it up. And it's just taking up too much time. And I'm not thinking about what I should be doing for the crowd, because I'm sitting trying to analyze my files. I can literally do it right here, and it's good to go. So that's another one that's super helpful. Yeah. Good question. Right-clicking, again, can happen here. That can also happen when you right click on a crate as well, right? So you can literally analyze the whole crate while you're playing as well. Crazy, right? Good question. Yeah.
What silicon do you need to really not have it glitch out?
So the question is in regards to what processor you need to have on your computer to make it work. So if you go to Serato.com and you go on the download page, there is the system requirements that are there. So technically, Serato supports the last 3 operating systems that are out, right? So currently, well, actually, minus Tahoe. Tahoe is not supported yet. Please do not update to Tahoe yet. You'll not be in a good situation. We're working on the support for it. Apple always drops the OS, and then we have to go chase them to make sure that it works right. So don't upgrade yet. But Sequoia works and everything, the 2 below that work as well, right? Technically, if you are on a computer from 2017 and above, it is supported. So that's like an i7, i9 situation, but it's suggested M1, M2, M3, M4 for you to be able to work, to be able to have the most, kind of processing power to make things work. This is an M3 computer, and I've been flying with this for a long time, and it's been good. So, yeah, but I know people with M1s who are still doing very well. So, yeah, be able to analyze the files. You can analyze the whole crate right there by right-clicking. Super dope, right? Cool. Again, some more right-click functionality here. Actually, let me go here to this here. So here, I can change the BPM directly here by right-clicking on it, right? So here I can do it by half or by double, which is super easy to be able to do. Now, in a situation like this, where I got, this Ferg track, right? It's reading at 121 beats per minute here. Technically, this is not 121 beats per minute, right? So if I right-click on this, then I go here to change BPM and then do by half. Ask me if I want to do this. It's going to change the beat grids. I say yes. And then it's going to change the grids around for me. And now it's going to be at 60 for me to be able to work with. Why is this important? Because if I'm playing a trap set and it works at 60, it makes a lot of sense. But if I want to do a house set and incorporate this into it, I don't have to think about, wait, what's the half of da-da-da, so on and so forth. I can literally just right-click on it, and now it's at 120, which allows me to be able to put it into a house situation, which is super helpful. Cool. Other right-click stuff as well. You can select the emoji rating for this. And this is kind of like a fun thing. So when I click on this, all my emojis show up here for my ratings. So if I type in here, let's say fire, and I choose it, and now when I go here to do the rating for the song, then all my fire emojis show up. Someone say cute. Yes, it is cute, and it's fire as well. And what's great, about it is that is in particular for that song itself, right? I can still do the star rating if I wanted to here, which is going to be different than the emoji rating for this here. So if you want to organize your crates by ratings and you do it by certain emojis and so on and so forth, you can kind of get to things really quickly and make those things happen, which is pretty cool. Just to kind of flip to that is that if I right-click over here, I can also then do the emoji rating for the whole crate, right? So if I click on this, again, that's going to pop up. I see the fire one there, and I click on this. Do I want to do it for all of the songs in the library? I say yes, that's for that crate, and now all these are set to be fire. And then I can do the rating that way if I want to, which is a lot of fun. Fire, alarms, lightning bolts, whatever you want to do, right? You have fun with it, and you can kind of set your library up to look the way that you want it to. Pretty easy, which is pretty cool. Couple more right-click things that are here as well. This one here, select the track of the color. Oh, sorry, the track color. So again, kind of something you can make the crates the certain color. Now you can do that here with this, which is kind of, was there already before, but now you can right-click on it and do it to make it work. So it's a quick little shortcut to make that happen. This one here, show in crates, super, super helpful. So we showed that already. But again, if I wanted to know where that lives, I can see the 2 crates that it lives in, really easy. This one here, enable beat grid lock. So if you have already set your beat grid, but you didn't lock it, now you can lock it so it doesn't change. Nothing happens to your grid. You can rescan your file information, so all your ID3 tags and so on and so forth. You can do that directly by right-clicking on it in the library. The relocate. So this is super helpful. How many of y'all have lost songs and been trying to figure out how to find them again? Right, a bunch of, right? And normally you would have to be disconnected from the hardware to be able to kind of search and all the rest of that, right? Sometimes you can go here to files and then do the relocate. But now it just makes it so much easier, pardon me, not being disconnected from it. But now you can do it directly from the right click in that folder itself if you need to find it. So you can relocate by searching all throughout the whole computer or a specific location where you might have had that particular file at. You can find it. Show and Finder. This one is super, super helpful as well. So sometimes we'll download songs and we'll put them in various folders and not realize you have them in like 5 different folders, right? So if you do Show and Finder, it will now show you the folder that it lives in where everything else is at as well, right? And if by chance you happen to have had 2 or 3 different versions of that song in that same folder, now you can go in and choose the ones that you don't need and get rid of them. Now you have it, your library a bit more clean. You have a lot more space to be able to work with. Is that a clap in the back? Yeah. Each one can have its own, right? So that's a very, very good question. So let's go back here to the emoji rating right here. Now, Matt, actually, let's do it here with this. And I don't know, where's CK from? What country? I don't know. Nigeria. So let's say Nigeria, right? So let's see if we can find. There goes the Nigerian flag right there. And now that can be set. So Jamaica, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Dominican Republic, South Africa, Jamaica, you can literally then do the flags for the ratings, which is pretty fire. Yeah, level up. Yeah, absolutely. You asked all the good questions. I like this. All right, so right-click on it, and you can relocate the whole crate, search all or by location, right? So sometimes what happens is that you might move the place where you had the music at. The crate's still in your Serato, but you might have moved the folder from, let's say, your desktop to like the documents or to downloads or wherever you decide to move it. So when you go to play those songs, they show up as missing files inside of Serato, right? So now you can go here and then relocate if you know the location to where it's at. Let's say you put in your documents. Now you can go to that exact place to relocate it and everything locks back in and you're good to go. So yeah, good one. You need that. Okay, good. I like to hear that. Cool. Yeah. So again, there's a bunch of just kind of like fun stuff that's there. So we talked about the show ratings and emojis. We talked about the halftime, double time, the analyze option. Let's talk about that. So when you are in the analyze section here, in the drop down, I don't know if you can really see this, but here, this first one that's here, which has been added, and it says analyze on import. Someone said, Okay, tell me why that's a good thing. Because you could just load your track and it just analyzes it for you. Just drop it in there. Good to go. Exactly. So again, you went to DJcity, you downloaded a bunch of new music, you got it playing in the club, you import it into your Serato. Remember before I had to go through right click and analyze and da-da-da. Now with this turned on, it just does it for you and you're good to go. Nice. Yeah, exactly. So super nice one, super helpful, does a thing and it works. And again, if you have all these things turned on as well, analyze the key and the BPM and the beat grid, it just does all that stuff for you on the import, which is great. So cool. Search all. This is a big one for me. So let's say that I'm searching for a song, right? But I want to stay in this crate. I want to be, this is my destination crate, what I want to be living in. But maybe the song I need is not in this crate, right? So what I can do is if I press all here, and let's say I'm just going to type in toast, right? And anything that shows up with toast in it is going to pop up, right? And got a bunch of different stuff that's here. But I have my coffee toast here, and I load it up, right? And then if I exit out of this, it's going to take me back to the crate that I was in. There are a bunch of faces that are, and a clap. Okay, so tell me what's up. There you go. So if you have a quick idea that you're like, oh, I need that song now, but I want to still stay in this crate because the majority of the songs I need to work is in this crate, you can search all, find it, and then once you exit out, it brings you right back into that crate and you're working and you're doing your thing. Super, super helpful because before you have to go to all, type in the song, find it, then you got to scroll all the way back down to the crate that you were in, try to get back into the groove on things. This just gets you moving. You're quick. You're happening without having any like fails at all. Like it's just moving really quickly. Now, let's take that a step further. You have your subscription to Beatsource, which you should all do, right? Get those tracks. Now, if I search with the Beatsource one here and I do toast, right? It's now going to search not only my songs, but also the songs in Beatsource as well. And then I find whatever I have in Beatsource has a bunch of gang load of songs that are in here. I find the one that I want. Maybe it's the Gunna song that I want instead, right? Then I can load that up. You see how fast it loads up, right? It's good to go. And again, once I click out of this, here, I'm back in the crate that I'm working with. And I'm good to go. Yeah, and again, this is what I was trying to tell you before. Like, this is not like stems where you're like, oh my God, like this changed in DJing. But it kind of is, right? Because it's allowing you to be organized in a way that you couldn't be before, which allows you to move much faster and much more efficient when you're in these DJs, in your sets, in your sessions and all that. You know what I mean? So it's super, super helpful. Cool. This is another big one, which I love as well. Streaming plus local files together in your crate. It's already kind of right here, right? I got the CK track here. This is actually from Beatsource, but all these tracks that are here are local files that I have from DJcity, right? So now let's go here, back up to Beatsource, right? And the library in Beatsource is crazy. 9 million songs, right? Yeah, you're not going to be wrong in trying to find something. There's a lot of stuff that's here, right? But let's say that I go to my top tracks, and let's just go to DJ exclusives because that's what we were talking about before. And let's say I want $1 Million Baby, the Mark Cuts, a Milli remix. So I could literally take this here and then drag this to the crate that I want it to be in. So I'm going to put it into the test crate. And now it lives here.
Is it analyzed already? Was it analyzing when you drag it over, or do you still have to right click it to get the analyze?
It's already analyzed from Beatsource. Yeah. Why is this important? Well, not only about the analyzing during the set, but you can create a set with both. Streaming songs and local files, right? So again, so someone said they have 500 crates or something close to that, right? You're scrolling to get through your regular crates. Now imagine that you're also then trying to go through 9,000 songs inside of Beatsource as well, or 9 million. Pardon me, I said the wrong number. So instead of you having to do this and then this and then this and then this and da and I'm doing it short because I don't have a lot of crates. But imagine you have a bunch of those crates. Again, you're wasting time. Now you can say, you know what? I want to go to Beatsource, find the tracks that I want, and put them into the regular crate. And then from there, I can start to play and I can move very fast and make it happen. Super, super helpful, right? Because now you can stay organized. Now, the one thing I will say is this. In the off chance that you are not connected online and these songs that are here, you did not put into the Beatsource locker, right? So you can have access to them afterwards, then these will be grayed out. Right, so you would need to be online to be able to access unless you have them in the locker. That's it. Cool. So that's a super, super good one to be able to have. It's helped me out a lot with things. Cool. New optional layout for the files panel. So this technically is the third version of the beta that's been out, right? We've gone through the first version, second version, third version. And the reason why we've gone through 3 different parts of it and also the length of the beta, meaning that's been for like about 3 It's been about 3 months, right? Yeah, about so, yeah. Part of that reason is that we need to get the feedback from y'all on what things work and what things don't work. So when we first put the first beta out for the files, prepare, and history, when we did it like this, so it's to the side, which is different than what it was before. Someone says it's nice. You like it. Okay, I do too, personally, right? There were a gang load of DJs who went onto the forum. They're like, y'all destroyed the Serato. You changed it. I can't organize my prepare and da-da-da. It's a gang load of da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, what's wrong with y'all? And I was like, okay, some people liked the way that they liked it before. Cool, no problem. We listened, right? Again, so when we went to the second beta, we said, we'll give you the option to be able to do one or the other. So when you go here to this button here, you can either have it to the side or you can have it back like it was before, down at the bottom. So you can be able to kind of move. I personally like it to the side. The reason being why is that I can look at my structure of my crates here, and then, for example, my prepare can be the same exact situation over here. So I can look side by side to things instead of up and down. But some people like to do up and down. Your preference, all good. But now you have the option to have that preference by being able to press it here like this, which is super helpful. We didn't want the library to turn into a thing that breaks your workflow. Right? So if you're used to being in your prepare crate all the time, or you're looking through your files for your history and so on and so forth, we don't want that to be an unpleasant experience for you. So now you have the option to kind of do both. And you can figure out the muscle memory if you want to do it the new way. All good. So yes, that's been added in, which has been super, super helpful in terms of, kind of being able to move around for that. Actually, while we're there, I'm going to go back to that, 'cause I'm going to jump here to this one here. 'Cause we already talked about this entire crate prepare, or actually, let me do that actually, and then we'll go into the prepare joint. So, cool. So we said before, we can analyze the whole crate, right? So by doing the analyze here, we could do that. We can also, if we want to, add to the prepare panel or the stem crate for the whole crate that you're working with, right? So again, if you want to analyze your stems ahead of time, you can right click, it goes all to the stems crate, but you can also do to the prepare panel for the whole crate as well. So if I do this here, now on this side for the prepare panel, all of those songs that are in this crate show up in the prepare panel for me to start working with. Now, why is that important? Now, we know in prepare, we're preparing for the next thing that's going to be coming up. And sometimes we need to kind of move around in that prepare crate to see when the right time is to be able to drop it. Maybe the song that you're playing now is working, and you're going through prepare panel, it's like, maybe it's this song, no, it's not that song yet. Maybe this song, not that song yet. Okay, this one, boom. But then I can be prepared for the next ones to come out afterwards, right? So all those are there. Now, with that being said, before, if you had a song on the prepare crate and you loaded it up, let's go here and take this and load it up, right? Before, what would happen? It will go away. What's happening here? It stays. Okay, cool. So this was another request from a lot of people, and we were able to listen to it. So when you go to your library, into the library and display, that's over here, this one here, you check this on. Tracks remain in prepare panel, and you have that turned on. So as long as you want to continue to figure out what the song is that is going to fit, you can kind of moving through, so on and so forth. You find the one that you want, load it up, you play it, it's still going to be there afterwards, right? And from there, you can say, you know what, maybe I like this whole situation where I prepare, I can make a crate from it. Then you select them all, make a new crate, and you move and you're good to go. So in the prepare, the same metadata that you have here, that you want to have, you can have here as well, right? Which is really great. And also to add as well, let's get out of this really quickly. Before, remember, there used to be like a little triangle over here where you click on it and then you could see all the metadata information that you want. Now all you have to do is right click. Sorry, do this right click, right? There we go. And now it shows up and you can add it in, right? And that works the same way here as well. And then you can add in whatever you want here. So in your prepare crate, you could literally just have the song, artist, BPM if you wanted to. But if you wanted to add in all the other things, you could do that too in the prepare panel, which could be different than what you have in your regular crate if you want to. So one more question and then we'll jump. Mm-hmm. That is a good question. Control and delete. So if you do control and delete, it's gone. So until you want it gone, it's going to stay there. And then when you want it gone, Control Delete, and then it's out of there. It's not deleting it from the library. It's just deleting it from the prepare crate. Cool. Let's jump through some more. This one's a simple one, but it's also one that is really, really helpful. So ejecting the external drive properly, right? So a lot of people have their music on in their computer. Some people have external hard drives. Myself, I personally have a SD card that's here. It's a 1 terabyte SD card where I have my whole library. And the reason why I have this is that similar to an external hard drive that, you know, you could do like a Samsung or whatever the case may be, it's literally a little chip just like this, right? And I can take that out of my computer and I can put it into someone else's computer who also has an SD drive slot, which most new computers do. And as soon as I do that, my whole library shows up and I can play off of someone's computer. And that saved me actually several times in situations where, for whatever reason, my computer wasn't connecting to the hardware, but that person's was. I literally just popped out my SD card, popped it into theirs, everything showed up, I played, I popped it out, I was good to go. Now, the pop out is the part that is the issue. So if you notice really quickly, pop this in. This is just a regular USB drive, right? And I have some music on it. So imagine that one of y'all said, yo, I'm coming up to play with you. Bet no problem. You had some music on an external drive or USB. When you do it, it would show up here in your files. So this is mine right here where my whole library lives. And imagine this is yours, right? You get on, you play your music, right? You do your thing, so on and so forth. And then by the time you're finished, your song is ejected. You want to eject your drive out of my computer, but you don't want to have to close down Serato or move it out the way, eject it from here, so on and so forth. You can now literally do it directly from here. So there's an eject button here. When I press this, it ejects it safely. You can pop it out, walk away, and I'm still playing. Small thing, but again, super helpful. As long as you don't have the song still loaded in your Serato playing, then you can eject it out, walk away.
So the song has to be completely stopped.
Completely out of the deck. Out of the deck. Yeah, but once it's out of the deck, good to go and you're moving. Yeah, exactly. And again, yeah, go ahead. It won't allow you to eject it. Yeah, it has to be off the deck completely. So that way it's not being used by the program. That's right. Yeah, that's right. So, but again, super helpful because, you know, we got to jump on people's sets sometimes, so on and so forth. We got our drive, pop in, do a thing, pop out. Done. So easy. Cool. Rescan and analyze entire crate. We already talked about that. This one is super, super helpful. Oh, someone's already clapping. All right. Crates no longer default to the bottom. The best part of it. I like to hear this. Okay. That's what's up. Okay. So, and I'll show you the way that this works, right? Let's say I go here to make a crate. And when I do it, it shows up here at the bottom. And I can make the crate, name it, and so on and so forth, right? Just whatever it is, right? Now I got to find a way to take this and then move it up, right, in the old version. So if I have 500 crates and I got 501, and I got to figure out where to put it to number 20. So I'm literally dragging, so on and so forth to get it up there. A lot of time, frustrating, so on and so forth, right? But if I am in custom mode, right, and let's say that I'm on this crate here. Let's go to this crate here, right? And I do the plus sign here to make the crate. It's going to make it exactly where I was in the order. Oh my God. Finally, right. So this is great because now I can stay in the order that I need to be in versus having to be at the bottom and now having to find my way back up to where I need to be closer to the top to make it all happen. I can be much more organized and quicker and much more efficient in terms of the way that I'm making the crate and being good. So real quick to that point, I don't like the crate. I can right click on this as well, and I can delete the crate from here. Now, when you delete a crate from here on this, you're not deleting the songs from your library. You're just deleting the crate from here, right? So I'm going to press delete. The crate is gone. Do that same thing down here. Actually, the other one I did here. Right click on it and delete. Cool. Yeah, it's done. I can also rename the crate from here as well by doing the right click if I need to. There we go. By renaming it here, right? There is not an undo feature yet for some of those things, but that's a good call and one that we need to be looking into. So now with that being said, right, with the delete. And I've done this plenty of times myself, and I've messed up my library doing this by accident. A lot of times I'll delete the song in the wrong way. I'm trying to delete out the crate, but I actually delete it out of my whole library and goes to the trash, right? When I right-click on this now, inside the actual crate that I'm in, when I go down to delete, I can either delete it from the crate, from the library, or from the computer. You now have a choice in terms of how you want to delete the track. Saves a lot of time. Because now you go back to look for that song. You're like, I know I put that song on. I played it last week. And I tried to take it out the folder, but I did it the wrong way, and now it's in the trash. And if I emptied the trash, it's gone. Right? So now I have the idea, okay, cool, remove from the crate. I don't need this in the crate. Let it go. It's gone. But it's still in the library. I can still get to it. If I right-click again and I do delete, I could delete it from the library. It's still on the computer. Right? So it might not be in my library, but if I need to get to it for whatever reason, I can still go back to it and get it. If it's a trash song and I never want to see that song ever again in my life, I can then delete it from the computer. And when I go to empty my trash, it's gone. So now you have options in terms of the way that you delete your tracks. Yeah. So yeah, if you're doing multiple tracks selected at the same time, you can do that as well. Yeah. Question.
Does it work with the beat source as well?
So let's do delete from the crate.
Yeah, because there's no library or computer.
There you go. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, what happens if it's like if you actually save it to the library from Beatsource, like you actually keep it for the offline player?
So if you're keeping it from the offline, from Beatsource to the offline player, that is actually a good question. Let's find out. So let's go here. Let's go back up to Beatsource. So again, you can do, actually, if I'm correct, you can do, what is it? Over up to 1,000 songs offline downloaded onto your computer from Beatsource to your computer, right? Which is crazy. That will save you life in certain situations. So I got a couple of joints here, right? So sorry, Drake, you got to go. So I'm going to right click on here and I'm going to do delete. And this is offline download. And the reason why I know it's offline download is because the download button is here. So it's showing me that if I'm disconnected from the internet, I can still play this record and I'm good to go, right? So if I come here and then I do delete, it's going to delete from the crate. So technically, I'm not going to have access to it anymore. Yeah. So good question. I'll leave him here. Give him a little love. All right, cool. Yeah. Other things are real quick, and we'll kind of wrap this up, and more questions we can answer them as well. Quicker library load. So when you load your library the first time in 4.0, it will, it's got to analyze your library, go through everything. But once it does that, when you go to load up and you got a big library, it's going to move way, way, way faster than it did in the past. Sometimes people have sat there and waited for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 or 5, right? Because they have so many songs that they kind of get through. We've optimized the library, so that load time has been cut in half, if not even more. So you should be able to get up and moving really fast and making it happen. And the last one that's here as well is the auto backups. And this one is super, super helpful. So when you go to leave your library or your Serato, when you go to get out of it, normally before here, it would ask you if you want to back up your library, right? And a lot of people did not do that. Backing the library is important, right? Because if something happens to your library and it's not backed up, all that metadata, everything that you had that was there is gone. Now you're starting from scratch again, right? Instead of you now having to always go check that on to make sure it does that, it just does it automatically for you. So if I go here and I press yes, and I'm not going to do it here, but I'll just show you on the, it happens pretty fast. And it just takes that load off of you and then you're good to go. Yep. So kind of saves you in some real kind of clutch situations when you're moving around. So, yeah, the library, it's really dope. Lucky myself, Omar, Love, Lisa, Serato team, we got this way before it got to the public beta. And we kind of started watching slowly but surely how the team at HQ was kind of developing these things. And we were going back to them with feedback, like, yo, this is dope, but can you do this? Okay, let me see. Da-da-da-da. Okay, check the new build. Okay, bet it works. This is great. Okay, but there's a bug on this. Okay, cool. Let's go fix it. They go back, do the work, so on and so forth. Send it. Does it work now? Bet, cool. Got to the point to where it was like, we can actually put this out and let's see if this works for people. And that's when we went to the public beta. it's really dope to really be a part of a team that is listening to what we're all collectively as DJs are asking for. And again, they started almost from ground up with the library to like kind of restructure it to make all these things happen. So the things that you're seeing here now are just the beginning of more things to come in the future. But the foundation that they made here to work is going to be groundbreaking for some people and just an asset even more to what they're already doing, right? Because some people are super organized. I'm somewhat organized with my library. Some people are crazy with the library. Now they can be even crazier with it because all these things that are here for it to happen. So this is a beta. I have to say that out loud. This is a beta. We will be official very, very soon. I can't give a date because I don't know it yet, but it should be very, very soon, right? But we want to make sure y'all got a chance to see this before it properly gets out into the world. Please, if you want to use the beta, make sure you back up your library first. If you have a high-stakes gig, you might not want to use this. If it crashes on you, we can't take the blame on it because we told you, don't use it in a high-stakes. Do not use this in a high-stakes situation. I've done it myself. And it hasn't crashed. But again, because it is beta, you know, and part of the reason why we did long beta too is that there's so many DJs with so many different setups and so many different types of computers and so many different, right? So your setup might be good, but someone else's with their configuration and so on and so forth might be different than what yours is. So if they get a crash and you don't, it could be because of the way that is, but that's also good for us for the testing to make sure that we get it right. So when we put it out, it works for everybody, right? So yeah, just be careful about it. But if something does happen, make sure you give all the feedback to the forum at Serato.com. This here QR code will take you to the beta page for the public beta. So if you go to that, you want to check it out, do it. What I would also suggest too is this. If you have a working version of Serato DJ that you're using out for playing, in your applications on your computer, right-click on the application and rename it. So if it's whatever point version that you have it on, Serato DJ Pro 3. Right? Save that. And then go here to this, download this, and then install it. And then rename that one Serato DJ Pro 4.0 beta. Right? So you know the difference between the one that you're playing out with and the one that you're testing. If you don't rename it, what's going to happen is that when you download it, it's going to overwrite the one that you were playing with. And now you're playing with the beta versus playing with the one that you know that works out in public. Right? So you can have two different ones that are there. Technically, I have like 5. All past like versions, I just renamed them just because whatever reason, I need to go back to an old one. I can get to it. It's easy, no problem at all. I just rename it and it's good to go. So that's the new library. Yeah. Any other questions on things? There's a couple here. It's the first one over here. That's a very good question. So you've gone to Beatsource, you've downloaded a song, you put a bunch of cue points on it, you played it out, you realize you didn't want it anymore, you delete it, and you're like, I want that song back, and you bring it back into your library, and you want to know if the cue points are still there. Technically, because you've deleted it from the library, all that should be gone. So you would have to start that process over again. Yeah. But to that point, though, with the streaming songs, the cue points, any things that you write to the cue points, you know, intro, 8 bars, so on and so forth, all that metadata stays on the file. So when you go back to it again, it's always going to be there. So same way you would do cue points and everything on your regular, you know, streaming regular files, streaming files are treated the same way, whereas, you know, that information is there. Kind of same thing with a track that you have in your library. You played it, you liked it, you put a bunch of, you know, cue points on it, you deleted it, you bring it back into the library, you got to start that process over again. So same situation. Right. So the questions in regards to stability of it and what people are saying. I can tell you from certain people I've talked to who are pretty big names that they've used it out in public. And I've told them, like, yo, I know you make a lot of money. You might not want to use this. Nah, if it crashes, whatever. I'm like, you sure? Like, yeah, whatever. And they've used it and it's worked. And it's been great. And they haven't had a crash. Though I have heard some people who have had crashes, right? And again, because it's beta and because of also whatever configuration their computer is to the gear and so on and so forth, there could be so many different variables as to why it would crash or not crash, right? But when it does crash, we're getting that feedback right back as to what happened so we can go back and try to fix that situation. I've had it for well over 3 months. I've been playing out with it, publicly, and I haven't had a crash at all. And it's been stable. But again, that's why we put that disclaimer there before, like, you probably should not use it out if it's a high stakes situation. So, yeah. Ooh. Okay, we're going somewhere really interesting here. Okay, so the question is, would there ever be a point in time where you could share crates and potentially even doing it in a cloud situation? My hope is yes. That is something that has been requested from other people. I think there's probably a bit more work that needs to be done to be able to get to that point, and I don't know when that is going to be and how long it would take for it to happen. But hopefully, this is one of those things that can kind of get bumped up the list of things to do, and hopefully that the team has the right support to be able to make that happen. So I would love to be able to see Cloud Library, because at that point in time I could be anywhere on anybody's computer and log in and have my whole situation. I'm good to go, right? But technically, I could be on someone else's computer, log into my Beatsource account through their computer, and still have access to all the stuff that I've organized, right? Because yes, you're getting all your top tracks and you're getting your curated playlists, which are all super dope, right? And they're kind of broken down to like a lot of different like kind of, breakdowns, right? Which is really great to be able to maneuver around. But you also have your playlists as well, right? So the great thing about Beatsource is that I could say, find a song in Beatsource, and then I could go here to this little one here, and I can make a crate or playlist that is inside of Beatsource, and then add those songs in live while I'm playing from Beatsource. So I'm literally kind of finding songs and working right away, which is super just helpful to be able to maneuver around. Now, to the point, again, I could log into my Beatsource on someone else's computer, and all of my stuff is here for me to work with. And mind you, this is not just Beatsource, it's also Beatport as well. And that's a really important one to note, because I also play a lot of house music, and Beatport has been huge for me to be able to get to all the different joints that I want to be able to play. So yeah, super helpful. New library coming very, 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 very soon. Again, make sure you jump on that. Test out the new beta, please. We want to give a big, big shout out to our good friends at Beatsource and DJcity. Make sure, again, if you're not testing it out, make sure you can try it out for like 14 days or something like that, 30 days? 30-day free trial. So if you haven't tried it out, make sure you jump on that, try it out, get a vibe, and since check on it. Those DJ exclusives are all there. Got all the new joints from DJcity catalog all inside of it as well, so you got access to the remixes. Once again, big, big shout to our people at Sound Collective. Thank you so much for allowing us to be in your space again. Big ups to the fam. Appreciate you. So once again, thank you so much, Sound Collective, Beatsource, DJcity. My name is OP. Thank y'all very much. God bless you. Good night.